She told me I had no family background and no education, that I was no longer good enough for her. Looking at the man beside her, a playful smirk on his face, I poured the bubble tea I had bought for her right over her head. What a shame. So many years of heartfelt devotion, all wasted. You want to break up? Fine. Pay back every cent I spent on you over the years, with interest. 1. Babe, are you okay? Seeing me dump the bubble tea all over Jessica Miller without a second thought, Ethan Blackwood frantically pulled out tissues to help her clean up. As she miserably tried to wipe herself down, Jessica shrieked at me, "Sincere Clark, are you insane? What's your problem? It's just a breakup. Why do you have to be such a small-minded man?" Her words made me laugh, a bitter, angry sound. "You're calling me small-minded? You spent my money without a second thought while cheating on me behind my back, and now you have the nerve to blame me?" At my accusation, Jessica's face turned even uglier. The university entrance was bustling with people, and many curious onlookers started to gather, whispering and pointing in our direction. Flustered, Jessica lowered her voice, hissing through gritted teeth. "What do you want? I don't love you anymore. Don't take it too far. Can't we just part on good terms?" "Part on good terms," I scoffed, looking intently at the face that was still beautiful, yet now seemed utterly alien. "You cheated on me, and you expect an amicable breakup? Jessica, do you really think I'm some kind of saint?" Jessica's expression soured. She stared at me, her voice sharp. "What cheating? Don't make it sound so nasty. Ethan and I are truly in love. You only have a bachelor's degree, and I'm a postgraduate student. We're not intellectually matched anymore. We have nothing in common. A breakup was inevitable." I almost burst out laughing. Did she really not know why I didn't go to grad school? Jessica and I were childhood sweethearts. We grew up together and got into the same university. After years of being by each other's side, our friendship blossomed into love, and we naturally became a couple. In college, my grades were always better than hers. I even secured a guaranteed spot in a graduate program. We had planned to go to grad school together, but then her family ran into trouble and could no longer afford her tuition. When she cried to me about her dreams, my heart softened. To support her, I chose to start working right after graduation, using my salary to fund her studies. I paid for her graduate school tuition and all her living expenses. I even gave her my debit card. Today was her graduation day. I had bought her favorite bubble tea and a bouquet of her favorite jasmine flowers, planning to surprise her at the university. But as I arrived at the gate, I saw her walking out of the hotel next to the campus, hand in hand with Ethan Blackwood, a classmate she often mentioned had been so helpful to her. When I confronted her, she simply said I had no education and no family background, that I wasn't good enough for the person she had become, and that she wanted to break up. Just like that, the years we'd spent in love and my dreams of marrying her became a complete joke. Jessica seemed to want to say more, but she swallowed her words. Leaning against Ethan, she looked at me wearily. "Well, it's come to this. It's true I've wronged you, but staying together would just be torture for both of us. Think about it. This is for the best. Besides, Ethan's family is from a much wealthier background than ours. Marrying him is the only way I can have the life I want. If you really love me, would you have the heart to watch me struggle with you?" With that, she took Ethan's hand and started to leave. "Wait," I called out to her. Meeting her impatient gaze, I said calmly, "A breakup is fine, but first, pay back all the money I spent putting you through grad school, with interest. I'll send you a detailed list of expenses." Jessica froze. I looked at her, my voice laced with patience. "What, is there a problem?" She bit her lip and shook her head, then looked pleadingly at Ethan. Ethan shot me a disdainful look and waved his hand dismissively. "Is it just a bit of money? I'll pay it back for my girlfriend. Now get lost, you poor bastard." 2. Seriously, bro, you're just letting her off that easily? My best friend Sean Davis slammed his glass on the table after hearing my story, his face filled with righteous anger. What else could I do? After all these years together, Seeing her true colors is a kind of liberation for me, I guess. I sighed, downing my drink in one gulp. Sean just snorted and proceeded to curse out Jessica and Ethan for a few more minutes before calming down. He nudged me with his elbow. Mr. Harrison was going to promote you and give you a raise after you closed a few more deals, but you turned it down because you said you needed time off for your girlfriend's graduation trip. Now that you've broken up, you better grab that opportunity. Absolutely, I said. Love is gone. Time to focus on my career. My life slowly got back on track. The first few days after the breakup were hell. I needed sleeping pills just to get through the nights. But once I pushed through that, my spirit returned. The work piling up on my desk wouldn't allow me to wallow in self-pity anyway. Jessica paid me back as promised. After sending the money, she couldn't resist sending a barrage of messages. See this? Ethan gave it to me. He didn't even blink an eye. This little bit of cash is more than you'll make in years, right? They say marriage is a woman's second chance. Only by choosing Ethan can I be truly happy. It's better than being stuck with a poor schmuck like you for the rest of my life. This is the difference between people. You need to learn to accept your fate. I read the messages, didn't reply, calmly accepted the money transfer, and then blocked and deleted her number. It was about 30,000. She rounded it up. Nice of her. When my mom, Mrs. Clark, found out about the breakup, she sighed for a bit, then told me to look forward. She sent me the contact information for an old colleague's daughter, saying she had just graduated and was working in the same city, and that I should get to know her. Still raw from the betrayal, I had no interest in starting a new relationship, so I never added the contact. A few days later, my team leader, Mr. Harrison, called me into his office. He pointed to a tall, beautiful girl with her hair in a bun. Mr. Clark, this is a new member of our team. You young people should have more in common, so I'd like you to show her the ropes. Seeing I had no objections, Mr. Harrison turned to the girl. Victoria Ashwood, this is the best employee in our group. Learn from him and I'm sure you'll do very well. Victoria Ashwood smiled warmly at me. Then I'll be in your care, Mr. Clark. We exchanged contact information. When I saw her quirky, familiar-looking profile picture, my mouth twitched. I quickly opened the chat with my mom. Mom, that colleague's daughter you mentioned, what's her name? She replied almost instantly. I forget. I think her last name is Ashwood. Victoria. Oh right, Victoria Ashwood. It's a small world indeed. When Sean heard about it, he shook my shoulders excitedly. What is this? This is fate, Sincere boy. Seize the opportunity, win over this top-tier beauty, and rub it in their faces. Sorry, I've sworn off love for now. Not interested in getting my heart broken again, I said, pushing his hands away with a look of pure indifference. Sworn off love, my ass Sincere boy. Be honest, you're just heartbroken and scared to try again, aren't you? Tell your bro all about it. I'll help you through this. I just stared at him. Victoria and I were assigned a project together. By the time we finished, it was already late into the evening. Working with her, I truly saw her strengths. She was methodical and thoughtful, and her ideas were always fresh and insightful. With her help, our work efficiency skyrocketed, and she gave me a whole new perspective on my job. Anyone else would have been stuck at the office much later. To thank her, I invited her to dinner, and she happily accepted. Though young, Victoria was incredibly considerate, always mindful of others. When ordering, she made sure to ask about my dietary restrictions and preferences. I hadn't been around many women, but she was completely different from Jessica, who had a princess complex and expected to be waited on. Being with Victoria was just comfortable. 3. As we were enjoying our conversation, a shocked voice called out from behind me. Sincere Clark? I frowned and turned to see Jessica Miller clinging to Ethan's arm. She was glaring at Victoria and me. Her expression turned foul, especially when she saw Victoria's stunningly beautiful face. So much for being heartbroken. You found a new girlfriend pretty quickly, didn't you? She sneered, her tone dripping with the satisfaction of someone who thought they'd caught a cheater. I was not amused. What does that have to do with you? You? Jessica was clearly in the wrong, and my question left her speechless. Though she had paid me back, I didn't feel that absolved her of anything, so I didn't bother being polite. Besides, I'd heard from mutual friends that she had been secretly blocking me from her social media posts while showing off couple photos with Ethan, long before we officially broke up. The thought of it still made me sick. Jessica shot a hateful glare at the innocent-looking Victoria, then turned back to me. Sincere, after all our years together, I feel I should warn you. She's so flashy, she's obviously not a good woman. Don't let her fool you. I laughed at that. A top-tier beauty like her, with a good family background to boot, what could she possibly fool me out of? My money for her education only to cheat on me with another man while she was still in school? My words struck a nerve. Jessica's face turned red with anger, her finger trembling as she pointed at me, unable to form a sentence. That's enough, Jessica, you're my girlfriend now. Why do you still care so much about him? Ethan snapped, frowning with displeasure. That brought Jessica back to her senses. Realizing she'd paid me too much attention and upset Ethan, she quickly turned to him to explain. Seeing the drama unfold, Victoria seemed amused. She said in a soft, playful voice, "Brother Sincere, this is delicious, you should try some." She then placed a piece of food on my plate. Amidst the sounds of Jessica and Ethan's bickering, I happily ate the food. After the two of them finally left in a huff, I turned to Victoria apologetically. "I'm sorry about that. My ex's words were pretty nasty. You got dragged into it." Victoria just smiled graciously. "It's fine." She was indirectly admitting that I'm beautiful, wasn't she? She said, giving me a playful wink. My heart skipped a beat. When we left the restaurant, we saw Jessica and Ethan still arguing outside. Ethan's patience with her had clearly worn thin. At some point in the argument, he pulled out his wallet, yanked out a wad of cash, and threw it at her. "So this is how rich people date," Victoria quipped with a smile. We didn't linger and walked away. Over the next few days, Victoria and I pushed forward, completing a whole month's worth of business for the company in one go. Our achievement caught the attention of upper management, and even the CEO praised us during a company-wide meeting. Victoria became more and more proficient at her job, picking things up instantly. She was socially adept too. Naturally, she started attracting the attention of all the single men in the office who began trying to win her over. But Victoria politely and distantly turned them all down. When I asked her about it, she just smiled and said, "My 20s are for building a career, not for getting caught up in romance." I couldn't agree more and gave her a silent thumbs up. 4. That evening, I dragged my exhausted body back to my apartment. As I stepped out of the elevator, I saw two figures waiting at my door. I cautiously approached and saw it was Jessica and her mother, Linda Miller. The moment Linda saw me, she lunged forward, grabbed my shirt, and started wailing. "You son of a bitch, I trusted you with my daughter, and you got her pregnant and then told her to get an abortion because you don't want to take responsibility. Are you even human?" Her words left my mind reeling. Jessica and I had been broken up for ages. How could she be pregnant with my child? Then I saw Jessica's pleading eyes, and I understood everything. She was pregnant with Ethan's child. He didn't want it and told her to get rid of it. Her mother found out and was now demanding justice for her. But Jessica didn't want her mom going after Ethan, so she pinned the baby on me. Realizing this, I ignored Jessica's desperate look and shoved Linda's hands off me. "The baby isn't mine. You've got the wrong guy." "Oh, so you're still denying it? Let me tell you, if you don't give me an answer today, I'll go to your office tomorrow, make a scene. I'll let all your colleagues know what a scumbag you really are." As her voice grew more hysterical, I cut her off loudly. "Jessica and I broke up a long time ago. She cheated on me and found another man. If you want to know who the father is, I'm happy to cooperate with a paternity test." I stared directly at Jessica as I said it. Linda froze. Jessica's face went white. As her mother turned to question her, she stammered for a moment before bursting into tears. Seeing her reaction, Linda understood. Her face hardened as she grabbed Jessica, demanding to know who the real father was. I ignored them both, went inside, and called building security to have them removed. Half a month later, on a particularly hectic day, I was swamped with work from the moment I arrived at the office. Mr. Harrison needed a proposal submitted by the end of the day. Victoria said she had a light schedule and offered to help me organize everything. By the time we finished, the sky outside was dark. We were the only two left in the entire office. "Let's go." "Dinner's on me," I said, turning to Victoria after emailing the proposal to my supervisor. She smiled and agreed, grabbing her bag to follow me out. But as we took the elevator down, it suddenly lurched to a stop. What do we do? Victoria, for the first time, looked panicked. She grabbed my arm, her face pale. "It's okay," I reassured her. "This building is old, so elevator problems are bound to happen. Let me see if I can get a signal." I moved around, trying to find a bar of service on my phone. After a few tries, I found a single bar in one corner of the elevator. Seeing how nervous Victoria was, I threw my dignity to the wind, got on the floor with my rear in the air, placed my phone in the corner, and after several attempts, the call finally went through. "Hello? Yes, we're trapped in an elevator. The address is... Please send someone quickly." When I stood up after the call, Victoria burst out laughing. Seeing my confused look, she waved her hand. "It's nothing, it's just... The way you were positioned on the floor just now was hilarious, haha." I just stared at her. 5. Thanks to the repairman's efforts, we were finally freed from the elevator. As Victoria and I walked out of the office building, laughing and talking, I heard that familiar, irritating voice again. Sincere. I knew who it was without even looking. I ignored her and kept walking, pulling Victoria along, trying to shake off the pest behind us. But Jessica didn't give up. She chased after us like a ghost and grabbed my shirt. "Sincere, wait." Forced to stop, I turned to her, my annoyance practically spilling out of my eyes. "Didn't we break up? Can you please stop bothering me?" Tears welled up in Jessica's eyes. She shook her head. "Sincere, I'm so miserable. Please don't be so harsh with me." Her words only irritated me more. "What does that have to do with me? You made your choice. I didn't force you. Why can't we just part on good terms like you wanted? Why do you have to keep bothering me? Will this ever end?" But Jessica seemed to not hear me, continuing her monologue. "My mom went to see Ethan and demanded he take responsibility for me. But the Blackwoods looked down on me. His mother says my family isn't good enough for him and told him to break up with me. Ethan has changed too. He used to be so good to me, but this time he agreed with his mom. I don't know what to do. I've realized you were the only one who was ever truly good to me. I had no choice. I got an abortion." "Oh," was all I could say, my voice flat. "Are you done? If you're done, let go of me. I have to go." Hearing my indifference, Jessica grew bolder. She threw her arms around me, sobbing. "Sincere, let's get back together. We have so many years of history. I know you can't let go of me either. Think of all the sweet memories we had. Can't we start over?" At that, I pushed her away, a cold laugh escaping my lips. "Sweet memories? I'm sorry, all I can remember is you waking me up in the middle of the night craving watermelon, and after I drove halfway across the city to get it for you, you gave it to some senior student to impress him. Or the time you threw a birthday party and didn't even invite me so you could maintain your single image for your classmates. Or how you used my debit card to play the rich benefactor for some junior student. I gritted my teeth and forgave you for all of that because I loved you back then. Love makes you blind, but a man can't stay blind forever. Stop bothering me. I don't love you anymore." Yes, I had once bent over backward for her, but she never cherished my heart, only trampled on my feelings. This time I was choosing to let myself go, to not be soft on her ever again. Hearing my words, Jessica didn't look ashamed. Instead, she brightened. "Sincere, you still remember all those things. You're still jealous, aren't you? You still have feelings for me. I promise I'll be more careful from now on. I won't do those things again. Can you please give me another chance?" As she spoke, a blush crept up her cheeks. She moved closer, trying to hug me again. This time I dodged her. I looked at her with disgust. "Can't you understand plain English? I really don't like you anymore. Stop harassing me." Seeing my clear rejection, Jessica finally faced reality. Her face fell as if her world was collapsing. She took a small step back, her disappointed gaze sweeping past me and landing on Victoria, who was watching the show from the side. Jessica's expression instantly turned savage. She lunged at Victoria. How could he not love me anymore? "I get it. It's you. You're the vixen who seduced him away from me." I was shocked by her crazed actions. By the time I reacted to stop her, it was too late. She was already upon Victoria. I thought Victoria would be hurt, but she effortlessly deflected the attack and smoothly took Jessica down to the ground. Seeing my stunned expression, Victoria flexed her fist. "What can I say? I've had training." I gave her an apologetic smile, then walked over to Jessica and looked down at her. "I'll say it again, Jessica. Let's part on good terms. Stop chasing me. It's impossible between us. Stop wasting your energy on me." Without another word, I took Victoria's hand and left. Jessica sat on the ground, muttering to herself, "Impossible. It's not supposed to be like this. You loved me so much. How could you not love me anymore?" People don't always learn to cherish what they've lost, but they certainly do after they've been knocked down. Jessica hit a wall with Ethan, which made her remember how good I was. Now she wanted to come back and continue enjoying my devotion. But she forgot that no one waits around forever. People have to move on. "Sorry for dragging you into trouble again," I said to Victoria. She shook her head. "I'm fine, but having an ex like that must be exhausting." I just smiled without saying anything. 6. A month later, our supervisor landed a huge deal and sent Victoria and me out to pick a gift for the client. We heard the client was a wine enthusiast, so we decided to buy a couple of nice bottles. When we arrived at the store, we saw Jessica and Ethan were also there, apparently in the middle of a heated argument. Jessica was crying as she yelled, "Everyone in my family knows I'm married into a wealthy family. Are you really going to serve such cheap wine at our wedding banquet? You're embarrassing me." Ethan's face was dark, and he refused to back down. "What's wrong with this wine? Is it cheap? Your father probably never gets to drink wine this expensive. My family has already spent a fortune on this wedding. I'm stuck between you and my parents, and it's not easy. Can't you be more understanding?" His words only made Jessica's voice shriller. "You know damn well you're just phoning it in. We're getting married, and this is how you treat me. Do you even have a heart? And don't even get me started on your mother. Could she be any more obvious about how much she looks down on me?" Smack Ethan slapped her across the face. "Shut up," he snarled. "You should be grateful I'm marrying you. You're marrying up, you know that? And you still have so many complaints. If you don't like it, don't marry me at that." Jessica fell silent, holding her cheek. Victoria and I exchanged a look and quietly moved to another store. "I thought she came to you last time because she'd broken up with that guy." "I can't believe they're still together," Victoria remarked on our way back. I didn't say anything. She gave me a light pat on the arm. "Your ex-girlfriend is getting married. Are you really over her?" I looked at her, exasperated. "It's been so long. What do you think?" Victoria giggled. After a moment, looking at the sycamore leaf-strewn path ahead, she asked, "So, are you considering starting a new relationship?" I was about to say no, but then I looked down and saw Victoria's sparkling eyes. The words caught in my throat. Instead, a phrase I hadn't intended to say slipped out. "We'll see." Back at the office, I threw myself into my work with renewed vigor. Sean started calling me a real go-getter. "Buddy, making money is important, but don't work yourself to death." "I'm worried about you," he said. I gave him a tired smile. Don't worry, I won't die. My 20s are the time to hustle. If I work hard and buy an apartment, then one of the thousands of lights in this city will be mine. Sean patted my shoulder. Then go for it. My efforts paid off. Seeing my relentless work ethic, my superiors were pleased and promoted me several times. My salary quickly doubled. I became the fastest rising employee in the company and was transferred to a different department. When I left, my old colleagues threw a farewell party for me. After a few drinks, my head was spinning, so I went outside for some fresh air. Victoria followed me out. What are you thinking about? You got a promotion and a raise, why so glum? She asked, leaning on the railing beside me and gazing into the distance. I'm not unhappy, just a little lost all of a sudden. No being lost. Don't you have an apartment to buy? Her words caught me off guard, and then I smiled. I've saved up almost enough. I'm planning to go look at some places soon. Want to come? You could give me your opinion. Victoria smiled back. In what capacity would I be coming with you? Surely not just as a regular friend. What capacity do you want it to be? My question seemed to surprise her. She looked at me seriously for a long moment, before her voice came out, a little hoarse. As your girlfriend, what do you think? The faint scent of her shampoo drifted toward me, and my heart was thrown into turmoil. When I didn't answer, Victoria didn't seem discouraged. She took a step closer, a smile playing on her lips. I've known you for a long time, you know, huh? Now I was completely stunned. Although her mother and mine were old colleagues, I had no memory of her. I had no idea how she could have known me from before. When you were a high school senior, I was a freshman. One day on the way home from school, some thugs were harassing me and you stepped in to help. I know the hero saving the damsel in distress's story is cliché, but I really did start paying attention to you after that. I followed you from a distance for a long time, but there was already another girl by your side, and I didn't want to disturb your happiness. I waited until you finally broke up with her to take my chance. The night air was warm, and my face grew hot. Looking into Victoria's clear eyes, I couldn't bring myself to say no. After a long silence, I opened my mouth and said, "Okay, what did you say?" Victoria's voice was filled with excitement as she grabbed my hand. I looked down at our intertwined hands, my face growing even hotter, but I didn't pull away. I looked at her and nodded seriously. A girl shouldn't have to be the one to confess. That's my failure. I like you, Victoria. Let's be together. Don't overthink it, just follow your heart. And my heart was telling me it was falling for her. 7. I took Victoria to look at apartments. She fell in love with a condo overlooking the river, where you could see the water from the floor-to-ceiling windows. We could sit on the balcony at night, have a drink, and look at the river view. How amazing would that be? I smiled and agreed. After calculating my savings and getting a little help from my parents, I finally bought our home. From then on, among the thousands of city lights, one of them was finally mine. A few months later, after the renovations were complete, Victoria and I moved into our new home. Somehow, Jessica found out where we lived and came looking for me again. Seeing her crouching downstairs, I felt a wave of irritation. Will you ever stop? I have a girlfriend now. Stop coming here. Jessica's face was gaunt. She ignored my words and grabbed my hand. Sincere, I want a divorce. I know I was wrong. Can we start over? Will you marry me? I frowned at her manic state. She wiped away her tears and continued, I've thought it all through. You're the one who's most suitable for me. I've regretted breaking up with you every single day. I can't live without you. Please, give me another chance. Let's get back together. I had heard that Jessica's life after marriage was not happy. Her mother-in-law not only controlled the family finances with an iron fist, but also forced her to quit her job and be a stay-at-home wife. Although she had married into a rich family, the Blackwoods all looked down on her, and she saw little benefit from it. Moreover, Ethan didn't change his ways after getting married. He shamelessly saw other women, and the stress of it caused Jessica, who was pregnant again, to have a miscarriage. And now she was back for me. Did I really look like such a pushover? "Excuse me, could you move? You're blocking my girlfriend's way." As she stared at me in disbelief, I walked around her to Victoria, who had just returned, and took the shopping bags from her hands. When Jessica saw the rings on our fingers, she completely broke down, sinking to the ground and sobbing into her hands. Victoria gave her a sympathetic look, then took my hand and led me upstairs. The next time I heard about Jessica, it was that she had become pregnant again. Unfortunately, she gave birth to a girl, and her sexist mother-in-law belittled and blamed her for it, leading to postpartum depression. After catching Ethan on a date with another woman one more time, she snapped. She grabbed a chair and smashed it over his head, leaving him in a vegetative state. Ethan would spend the rest of his life in a hospital bed. Due to her mental instability, Jessica avoided prison, but the Blackwood family sent her back to her parents. A year later, Victoria and I went back to our hometown for our wedding, inviting all our friends and family. Jessica's parents, relying on their past acquaintance, showed up uninvited. It was clear they hadn't gotten anything out of the Blackwood family. They were both radiating resentment. When they heard my family had paid Victoria a sky-high dowry and bought an expensive house, their bitterness reached its peak. Linda Miller looked us up and down and said snidely, "She's not even as pretty as our Jessica." I really don't know what Sincere was thinking, leaving our Jessica to marry this piece of goods. My face immediately darkened. If you're here to offer your blessings, you're welcome. But if you're here to cause trouble, you can leave now. You know exactly what happened between Jessica and me. Don't force me to embarrass you on my wedding day. My word shut them up. A few minutes later, Sean and a couple of other groomsmen escorted them out. Amidst the cheers and blessings of our loved ones, Victoria and I walked down the aisle and into our new life together.